In life, you have to think about many things. The first one is simple: instinct. And second, morality. And third, authority. All these three things are truly important to consider and to make sure that you follow them in your life. And even if you don't know all these things, you, at some point of your life, had followed them. Now, Elijah in the Bible had done the same thing as well. Not Elijah, but in the story, some character did it so. Now, Elijah, God's prophet, had to be brought down by 3 commanders. The first 2 got massacred by the heavenly fire. Now, the last one had a different strategy. He knew what the order, what the king has been done to, how that king has been given to him, the command, the order, and what you need to know about Elijah. He knows that. Now, between that gap, you and the things that you do shows what kind of leader you are. There are many types of leaders. The leaderships that you don't even know existed, leadership that you consider as not good, leaderships that you know yourself that somewhat controversial. These leaders show instinct, authority. Now, every command is a order, but it does not mean that it is justified. Now, Nuremberg trials, the commanders, the generals have said the same thing over and over again. I was just following orders. What does it mean? Orders, of course, are to be followed. But that does not mean that you should follow them out of habit. You should follow them not out of authority. But you have to think about that order and what you need to do behind or beside, inside or beneath it. In the Vietnam War, the My Lai massacre, the pilot that drove these soldiers to the My Lai village has done the same thing as well. They knew what they're doing, but they did it at their best. At their worst, of course. But the pilot showed not morality, but a disdain to what kind of order it is, and tried to stop it as much as he can. That is a true leadership that one must show. Not to follow orders, not to know authority, not to give authority to others, but to do something out of morality, out of instinct, to make sure that less cost, less values were disdained on it. Now that's the first point. Now there's a question though. What if you and yourself, the dignity that you have, and the cost that you will gain, that you will have as a consequence on yourself, has been into the gamble? Now that changes everything. You are a morality, you have morality, you are justified by yourself, but that does not mean that you should know what the dignity would collapse on yourself just because you made that decision. You have to choose wisely. That is why authority comes with decision, and every decision that you made have a consequence that you need to consider. Now that's the first point. The second is quite controversial, and that is what you need to do in between instinct. In the Bible, a king was cursed by God to make sure that he know the mistakes, the sins that he had made, and to repent upon it. But the king himself, instead of repenting on it, showed what he could do to change this course of history. He didn't get the doctor, he got a prophet that shows what the future would bring to him, the good side. Now, when you look at the Bible, the king that it was in the story, you see that, then he had done something very bad. But you are not him. If you were to be him, you will do the same thing, same decision, same mistake as him. Because you have instinct. Instinct itself is not a great thing. But instinct is something that has brought down kings and brought up dictators. You know what you need to know. You know what you need to do. But instead you do what you know is not good, but give you the best results that you have come into your mind. When in disdain, when in economic ruins, you don't look for morality, you look for economic upturn. When you are in grave danger, you look for good news, but not the news that could transform you. That is something that you need to know, that humans have instinct. Instinct himself is not something that is seen in front of many people, but it stays inside you even when you're eating, even when you're relieving yourself, even when you're sleeping. Instinct stays with you. That is the thing that you need to know. Out of instinct, people does many things. People do many things. But out of instincts, people kill each other. Out of instinct, people help each other. Out of instinct, many people were killed by it. Dictators, authoritative leaders, every single one of them has the same instinct that is similar to the people that they rule over them. People, today you learned about something. Authority, instinct, and morality. These three things drive you to become who you are. But what you need to know is that instinct, humanity, dignity, morality, authority, all these things made the society as we know today. That is all.